grinding for my dinner. From the bottom to the top, I will rise. No matter what they say, I won't compromise. In the projects where I'm from, ain't no easy way, but I'm a fighter, I'm a winner, that's what I say. Started from the bottom, now I'm reaching for the top. Getting money, but the grind never stops. Do it for the fam, yeah, I do it for the people. Everywhere I go, haters be like, there you go. On the rise, I'm soaring high. Boundaries can't hold me down. On the grind, yeah, I'm getting mine. Unstoppable with every sound. Do it for the fam, for the people, that's my motivation. All my haters watching all, cause I'm causing a sensation. Started from the bottom, now I'm reaching for the top. Started funny, but the grind never stops, never stops.
You are my legion.
This dream is for mature audiences only.
You are my legion.
Join the Federation today and stay tuned with the Ultimate Gaming Federation for the latest live streams, tutorials, important gaming topics, and more.
We'll face the gods head on. We'll defy the skies. This is our time to crush the gods. Fuck out of here, nigga. We believe. Fuck out of here, nigga. We'll break the chains. That bind us, we'll soar up high. In this battle,
Don't you know the power of the dark side?
You are my legion.
through the shadows we've been hidden for so long.
Hardcore insecure. Hardcore attack.
Ignite the fire within. We rise together like a phoenix. No more mortals, we claim our destiny. We are the gods now. We control the universe. We own the power. We shape the course of time. With thunderous might, we conquer the stars. We become immortal. Forever we shall shine. In the realm of darkness, where shadows creep, a warrior rises, eternal sleep. Fiery vengeance, spirit ablaze. He marches forward to end the charade. The third beat of hell, unleash the rage. Kill the imposters, claim your rightful place. Send a
Oh, good afternoon, everybody. Well, folks of the Federation. A couple things. Hi, Mama. Say hi to everybody. Say hi, everybody.
Hey.
Say hi, Federation.
Hi, Federation.
All right. How was school? Good? Okay. All right. So, good afternoon, Federation. I'm your host, Lord Gallos. And the developers just came out with a live stream on Destiny 3. I mean, Destiny 2. Must be a Destiny 3 coming out, because Lord. On Destiny 2. And we about to get into it. What's up? I seen it. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna look into this, see how how Act 2 is gonna go for the season, and hopefully, hopefully it's better. This season hasn't been too bad, but it's been kind of, hemmed together. It's been a little lackluster, other than what we've been doing with the clan. You know what I mean? Like it's been. I don't want to say a little rough. Sometimes we have a little kind of areas where it's just like, oh, there's nothing going on right now. So we kind of, we're gonna see what's to it. Now, I haven't watched it yet, so I wanted to make sure I watched it with y'all. And just being real. Also, on a side note, if you're interested in custom PC builds and you're in the Low Country, South Carolina area, hit me up. Text 262-299-3622. That includes the computer builds as well. Consultations, computer builds, all that. And that's in addition to what I'm going to do now, because I'm already done with my other stuff in the background. But like I said, I'm not going to speak more on it in details until it's off the ground. But it's looking good, y'all. It's looking good. So cool. Let's see what we got going on here with this Destiny 2 Revenant Act 2, and we gonna just chill today, you know, and kind of see what's going on, kind of vibe out. Shout out to everybody that's watching. I'll be gaming a little bit, just not right now. I'm just reviewing this right now, you know. So let's do it. Let's do it. Oh, by the way, this video is by it's on Destiny 2 channel, okay? This video is by Destiny 2, okay? Oh, hold on. I need gotta hear it. My bad. My bad, y'all. It's live. Audio. My bad, y'all. Here we go. Let me go back real quick so y'all can hear it. My fault, y'all. My fault. I'm gonna skip ahead. That's why I didn't watch it live, because I did not want to just kind of sit there and wait and watch it. I wanted to just do the vid. Okay. Oh. Matter of fact. Boom.
Hello, everyone, and welcome. It's good to see all Guardians. My name's Andy. I work here at Bungie on the social media team, and we're coming to you live here from beautiful Bungie HQ in Bellevue, Washington, with an awesome stream to go ahead and tell you a little bit about what's to come with Act 2 of Episode Revenant. But as usual, worry not. You're not going to just have to sit here and listen to me tell you all about it. We have some fine folks here from the Bungie development team to give you some of the finer points about what we're going to be looking at today. So, without further ado, I vote we go ahead and just dive on into the stream and get this moving along, because there's some cool stuff to show you, starting with a man that you may know very well. If you've joined us for our Into the Light streams, you've seen him in action before and played his content as well during that time. Associate designer here at Bungie, Noah Lee. How's it going, Noah?
Yeah, great, Andy. Thanks for the introduction. I'm very excited to show off this Act 2 activity. I don't want to spoil too much. We'll get into it.
Yeah.
But I'm excited, so hopefully players will be excited too when we show it off.
Oh, yeah. Can't wait. But before that, for anyone who may not have met you in our past streams, can you tell us just a little bit about who you are and what you do here?
Yeah, so I, as an activity designer, you know, it's in the name. We make the activities that players play, and generally everything that players interact with when you load into an activity is something that activity design has touched, whether that be the enemies, the faction you fight, like the encounters, the exact tasks that we're asking you to do, all the way to the objectives and directives, and just general the activity flow.
Nice.
We care a lot about all that, and there's a wide amount of activity designers doing a wide amount of content.
Yeah.
I have the pleasure of being the Act 2 content for
Very exciting. So not just Atlanta where the players play, but Destiny 2 as well.
Exactly. You know I'm from Atlanta, right?
No, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Okay. I was just trying to make a reference that aged me.
We don't need to know all that, bruh.
Also, next
We
to
don't
him
need to
as
know
well,
all that,
being
bruh.
joined for the first time by associate weapons designer, the one and only Mr. Taylor Bjorndal. Taylor, how's it going
They
today,
seem
man?
nervous, y'all.
For those who may not have met you or don't follow you on Twitter or aren't in part of your raid group sitting right next to you, can you tell us just a little bit about who you are and what you do here at Bungie?
Yeah, Taylor Bjorndal, associate web designer. Been around at Bungie for quite a while, but somewhat new to design. This is my first release as designer. I did some work on the dungeon set.
You know why, y'all? Because they fired everybody else.
Weapons, and the Splicer and Garden reprises, and then a bunch of exotic changes.
Big
Excited
fan
to
of season
talk
of the
about
Splicer. So thank you for all your hard work on the Splicer stuff. And then next to him, a man that needs no introduction, a friend to all Guardian kind, but we're still going to introduce him anyway. Global community lead here at Bungie, Mr. Dylan Gaffner. Dylan, how's it going, man?
It's going great. I'm awake.
Yeah, a bit of an early morning for us here today. Huh?
Yeah, but it's a nice early morning. I'm excited for this. This is going to be a good show today.
No, man, and I'm very glad you're here. For those that may not already be following you on Twitter or haven't heckled you in the very same
You rocking the Vans, man?
Can you tell us just a little bit about who you are and what you do here at Bungie?
Yeah, I'm the guy that says we're listening. Ultimately, work with the community team, do a lot of the strategizing, looking at the forward-facing comms and all that, but then work with our community folks, our player support folks, and see what we can talk about when and work with these guys to get all the goods out and the comms straight. So.
Yeah. Huge shout out to your compatriots on the community team, to Cosmo, to Bruno, to David, the whole crew.
Alex, Eduardo as well.
Thank you. That's right, lest we forget. All right, so we have a lot of stuff to go ahead and move along into. I vote we go ahead and start with you, Noah. Before we dive into the gameplay, just very briefly, we're now about to arrive in Act 2 of Revenant. Can you tell us a little bit about Act 1 and what got us to
Let's
where
get rid
we
of
are
them
today?
goddamn
Absolutely. So
tonics.
as players know, we were tracking down House Salvation on Europa,
Phew.
and we ended up discovering that Fickrel has
Limit.
found a paracausal echo, and he's able to make newly Revenant Scorn from living Elixni as opposed to dead Elixni.
Yeah.
So we went across the system, freeing Elixni from the onslaught. The onslaught of Scorn
Cheeky.
hordes and, you know, disrupting the Revenant Scorn nest all across the system. Now we're hot on Fickrel's trail, and we've found our way back to the reef. So, you know, some Destiny players that maybe have a longer tenure might have an idea of what Fickrel might be interested in terms.
I'm already knowing what he gonna say, y'all, but I'm not gonna say nothing yet. If you played Destiny 1, you already know. Let's continue.
Of reef-bound system stuff.
Very interesting, which I will say very conveniently.
Mention the
excellent segue,
reef.
Thank you.
Already
leads
knowing.
us to our first batch of gameplay.
Exactly.
For, again, the Destiny vets out there, the Destiny 1 players who may be still with us as well.
There you
myself
go.
Included. We are returning to an activity that's been reprised from the Destiny 1 days.
Absolutely.
Noah, can you tell us what we're getting into here?
You know, you said returning. I'd like to say this activity was reimagined.
Yeah.
Instead of it being the Prison of Elders from Destiny 1, this is now a Tomb of Elders. This activity specifically is Contest of Elders, actually.
What's that gun, yo?
I want the fire team to hold up a little bit because I want to describe it a little bit for the
Warden's
audience.
Judgment.
So if those who are familiar with things like Deep Dives or The Coil and Riven's Lair from Season 23, this is a similar kind of activity where it's a longer tail, more roguelite activity. One of our design tenets was we wanted to make it as variable as possible.
Yeah.
And we'll go into a lot of what makes it as variable as it is. But in general, it follows a lot of the beats from Prison of Elders and Destiny 1, which is, you know, you go to arenas, complete encounters, and all this while the spooky, scary warden is kind of in your ear, kind of egging you on.
Yeah.
Instead of it being Varix, it's the warden servitor.
Yeah.
And players are trying to placate this warden rather than like rebel against him. So
Yeah.
the more you do that he says, you'll actually get more loot, and we'll go into that a little bit more in the future.
Oh shit!
A lot of chances to test out your.
I ain't gonna lie, y'all.
Oh,
Kind of
yeah.
like
We'll
that
hear it.
survival
Give it time.
shit.
We'll
I
get
ain't
to
gonna lie. I kind
so
of like
let's go ahead
that.
and kick things off. So with this,
Health is
was it basically
decreased.
just bringing back kind of the activity from Destiny 1, same races, same bosses, and everything, or what are you guys
Absolutely
trying to
not.
do?
We wanted to. I think the key that I was really excited about was I had a rule which was we want to keep the best parts of Prison of Elders that people love, the most iconic aspects. So, you know, things like dismantle mines. We might have some fan favorite Taken bosses and other bosses that people remember.
Yeah.
But the main thing was being able to modernize it to not only the new Destiny sandbox that we have, but just the new vibe. We're in a vampire hunter season.
Yeah.
Why not go back to the derelict Prison of Elders and hunt more vampires?
Yeah.
And like you said about factions, in the old Prison of Elders, it was the Fallen, the Cabal, the Hive, the Vex.
Okay.
We don't have the Vex anymore. Instead, it's the Dread now, being led by some Taken forces.
Very cool.
Instead of the regular Cabal, we have the Shadow Legion. Instead of normal
Okay.
Hive, we have the Lucent Hive, and we have the Revenant Scorn instead of the Fallen.
Okay.
Yeah.
Kind of changed up all the races, and you'll be able to see it. It's really apparent when you go to their arenas since they're all themed based on the races.
Yeah. So I'm going to bug you
Okay.
about bosses soon, but can you tell us just a little bit about what we're seeing here, whether it's the modifiers or anything like that? I noticed there's obviously a lot of chances to test your skill here against the modifiers you guys have put
Oh
in.
yeah. So we, for those who are familiar with the Legacy Prison of Elders, there were a bunch of modifiers that were on a rotation. Some were kind of beneficial, like Solar Burn, where it was like the enemies give you damage, but you can kind of deal some.
Yeah.
In this, all of them are not beneficial to you. And actually, as a quick segue, we saw Urrox there. He was an old Destiny 1 Prison of Elders boss, a Legacy boss.
Yeah.
And he's come back as a Lucent Hive Guardian, and we had some other few bosses who have come back from the grave.
Yeah. I mean, given that he's no longer just a Hive Knight, he's got both the big shields and everything. He's ready to go ahead and be brought back with the power
Absolutely.
of the light.
And as we just
some
saw,
new
we
challenges.
have some UI too that we were able to bring
yeah.
back from the Legacy Prison of Elders. Every time you get a new modifier, it appears on the screen in the middle of the screen, and you're able to be like, oh, it's Chill Touch or it's Counterfeit.
Yeah.
Because we have some of the new modifiers that were in episode Revenant that are in here. We got Counterfeit. We got Haste. We got Brawn, if people have had experience with that, and a few other things like Chill Touch, Scrapper. Grounded, a few other things that kind of rotate around.
A lot of opportunities to get good.
Yeah,
Well,
opportunities to run around, grab your ammo, and then turn out it's a bomb. Oops.
I love that one. That's one of my favorite perks, actually.
That never happens to me all the time.
Being hit by a melee attack slows you.
Nice that it pops up. Though,
Oh Lord.
Yeah, I want to
No,
shout
you're
out.
getting into
I want to shout out our engineering team for being able to bring this in, and our UI team for kind of everyone came together and had a strike force so that we could bring this back. It was no small feat, but I'm glad it works, as we intended it to.
No, we appreciate it. As someone who intends to spend a ridiculous amount of time in here, thank you, and yours for your hard work.
Absolutely.
So
I kind of wanted to talk about one more thing in terms of how this activity is structured. I'd say it's very close to Riven's Lair. For those who remembered, Riven's Lair, you kind of had a trap room, then an encounter, then another trap room, then a boss. And this is slightly more action focused, so we have, as we saw, that cryopod encounter first, then you'll have a faction encounter. It'll take you to a random arena throughout the prison. It's still shaped like the spokes, like in the original Prison of Elders. Then you'll have a short traversal section, and then you'll have a boss. And then after that, you will get pulled into the warden's office and get your loot, and then run around the loop again. In every single encounter, you're going to have a challenge, and for bosses specifically, you're going to have a critical objective. And that kind of all goes into like this in-activity reputation system that's called the Warden's Judgment.
Pretty much brought back Prisoner Elders, pretty much.
You can see what that is, but I know people don't read. So
I like it. I like it.
Staring right at me when you said that. That's so weird.
I don't read either.
Okay.
I got a revive limit on here too.
I'll figure.
Launch. So the Warden's Judgment is a pretty simple but kind of complicated mechanic we have that's meant to address some of the feedback that we've gotten from the coil specifically. So for those who are very experienced with that activity, people were very much questioning how do you get to the wish chamber, like how many wishing glass you need to get, like if you felt like you didn't get the loot goblin, you were like, oh, I didn't get the wish chamber. We found out statistically that most people had already surpassed the threshold they need to get to the wish chamber, but it just missing out things felt bad, and it initially kind of like hampers your desire to keep going, because you might be like, well, I don't want to get to the very end and see if I didn't get to it.
Right.
So to address that, the Warden's Judgment is kind of like a inactivity way to check how well you're doing. There will be a buff on the top of your screen, and it'll kind of dictate how well you're doing. So when you complete a challenge or a bonus objective, your Warden's Judgment will increase. It can get all the way up to favor times 1 to 3. If you do not complete the objective within the time limit, you will go down a level. And if you're in Warden's Punishment, the activity gets a little bit easier. We have less elites, less mini bosses, and our high value targets that are called model prisoners will be elites, and they give you a revive token on death.
Okay.
But the better you do, we have more things that are going to try to hamper you. We'll have traps in the arena. We'll have increased mini bosses, and when you're at favor times 3, the ultimate test, because you want to stay at that the whole time for max rewards. Your bonus objective time limits will be reduced by around 30%.
Okay.
So some things may take, maybe you have 2.5 minutes to complete something, and then it becomes 2 minutes. Or you have a minute and 30 seconds, and maybe it becomes just a minute. It gets a little bit tougher. Exactly. But that's kind of the core about this activity that makes it cool. People say that these activities kind of take a long time. Sometimes you have 40, 50, maybe 60-minute activities. The better you do, the warden can actually allow you to skip an encounter. And we've had in playtests, we've had runs that can last 28 minutes, 30 minutes, and that's when you're getting the most rewards. So this is kind of promoting, like, maybe you'll get bad luck and have some bad encounters, but the more you run it, you'll get more experience, you'll understand kind of how the flow is, and you'll be able to get a lot of rewards really fast and kind of experience the whole Prison of Elders in this new light.
Might be all right. I mean, it might be okay.
I mean, on one hand, to the community, what was that again? 28 minutes, you said?
28.
All right. When it comes out next week, the issue
They'll
has
blow
been
past
challenged.
that. They'll blow past.
No, I'm sure, but still, it's best to issue
Wait
a challenge.
for the solo run.
That's
like, oh, I did this challenge.
Oh, when defeated, combatants can drop items disguised as beneficial.
You will be that guy, and I will at you on Twitter or something.
Not in game. Just gonna,
not in game. Not in game.
Yeah,
not
this
game.
is just like a imaginary title.
Yeah, I made that up just now. Sorry.
He'll say it on Twitter. Blazing Muffins will give you a shout out on Twitter. But no, so it's kind of nice to have the opportunity to sort of, I guess, if you're learning the activities, if you're kind of just, getting beaten down a little bit, you have a chance to build yourself up a bit, kind of get a sense of the battle arena, the mechanics in place. That way, as you kind of build yourself up, that higher warden's favor. There
Fire Team is actually showing one of my favorite features. Which we tried to give every boss a cool intro. So this boss descends in from a thresher from the ceiling. So every enemy race has their own kind of mechanic. So the Hive, generally their mechanics revolve around portals in the arena. The Cabal are all about getting these explosive charges and blowing up things that are like immune. we'll see the dreads in a second, but the scorns are about like getting these explosive canisters and kind of making a makeshift explosive.
Yeah.
Internally, I like to call it the junkyard fantasy because like it's kind of like all junky and rusted and stuff.
Tinkering and putting it together.
Yeah, you put it together, and then it makes this really cool. Shout out Mikala for doing this. He also made Liminality Strike, so shout out to him. He made a really cool thing where like you see the explosion trail like kind of get to the big explosive.
Like a fuse.
Yes, it's so cool.
I have to ask, why did it have to be a Thresher? Because I'm having some memories from Neomuna. This is scaring me already.
Well, Threshers are cool, and it's just, it's cool to have different boss silhouettes in Destiny. We don't often actually fight a Thresher as a boss, and the Thresher's not even the true boss, as we see a Scion and his Scion goons are the actual main bosses for this fleet. So this is like kind of the quasi mechanic there, where it's like, you start off, you gotta kill the Thresher, and then, it's gone. We got like one of those Russian dolls and a bunch of Scions pop out, and you gotta deal with
them right now.
I imagine just that the unstoppable Thresher meme basically just popping up again, right? Yeah. So I mean, I gotta ask as well. Like this is an opportunity to kind of bring back this activity from Destiny 1 to kind of look at what was best about it.
We got something actually cool to show right here. Also.
Please, dive in.
So. Players are probably very much like, why is the screen green?
Fair.
So critical objectives have been massively increased in like complexity, I believe.
Yeah.
So every time a boss starts, there's just a timer ticking down that we're not showing you, and then a critical objective will spawn. If you complete them or fail them, your Warden's Judgment will react accordingly. But what we ask you to do for these critical objectives are much more dangerous than like our normal stuff, which is like maybe get kills with abilities, get kills with the Scorch Cannon. This one is a certain level and below, all of it will be poison gas that does damage to you over time.
Yeah.
And the only way to turn it off is you have to turn off the switches that are also in the poison gas. So the Warden servitor will be like, warning, poison gas, or whatever. And when you come in, and it's
You've
like,
done that before. All right.
Yes,
That's
all the time.
Yeah.
I've been at home just like by myself, just doing a Varix impression, like to like nothing, and I'm like,
that's how I'm going to talk to my cat exclusively.
Exactly.
Now I can just tell.
I think he'll get a little scared though.
It's okay. He has to exist around me anyway. He's well prepared.
I just think of insect like chattering in the
Yeah.
subtitles. That's all I got in my brain.
Chittering, chattering. I don't know.
And we see the Warden's office. So
This ain't the only thing they got. Like,
yeah. Every time
I
you
like
complete
this,
a
but-
boss, you will get pulled to this chamber where the Warden will reward you based on how well you've done. This fire team has done very well. So they get 3 chests, and you get a rally banner that allows you to like kind of refresh your super and ammo and stuff before the next round.
Yeah.
And as we saw, we have like judgment, calculating, punishment protocol, averted. If you're in the Warden's punishment while he's judging you in this like kind of Monopoly style like mini game, a punishment will happen. I don't want to spoil what that is, but I think it'll be very smart. But as we see, they were able to skip the cryopod encounter. If you were like at a neutral or below, you would have to do that cryopod encounter again. But our fire team is good enough to skip it. So if you keep that momentum, you're able to skip that encounter every single time and kind of go through the prison much faster than you would normally.
Yeah. All right, really quickly, also, please feel free to keep jumping back in. I know there's a lot of stuff we're going to be checking out, but Taylor, I want to quickly bug you. With the arrival of Act 2, we're going to have a few new weapons being added to the overall loot pool.
Tell me about the weapons.
Can you talk a little bit about
Yeah.
the new season, or pardon me, Act weapons, rather, that we're going to be having available to us?
Yeah, sure. So we have like 2 new seasonal weapons or act weapons.
Got the SMG and the shotgun.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
There's an Arc Precision SMG, and then there's a
Attrition orbs, right?
Yeah, attrition orb. Yeah, it's got a bunch of perk rolls on it, which we'll get to in a second, and then a Void Precision shotgun, which has some Dust Rock blue jeans. If
Very nice.
Yeah. If you, we'll probably see the model in a few minutes, but the resemblance is uncanny.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a lot of cool rolls for both of these, both for PvE and PvP.
Let's take a quick look.
So this one's got the new arc perk, jolting feedback. It's also got change, attrition orbs.
Whoa, wait. Y'all gave attrition orbs and jolting feedback to a submachine gun?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? Wait a minute.
Yeah. And then the
Wait a minute. I just got my AR and y'all put that shit on a SMG?
Slide shot closing time.
You gotta be shitting me, man.
Scored stabilizing rounds, and with the shotgun.
You gotta be kidding me.
In this release, it will probably serve you pretty well.
Yeah. Having dusted off my 7th Seraph CQC, I want to say thank you. For
You
that.
gotta be kidding me.
Never gets old.
It's nice how such a small change can actually make a pretty big difference.
Yeah,
especially when it's
seriously.
It's not even more damage.
They beating y'all ass now,
with
nigga.
regard to the new shotgun, You know, obviously PvP or PvE rather is going to get some nice buffs. You were saying the repulsor brace, both hell rounds.
Yeah.
Accept those. But at any rate, there was a PvP role you were talking about earlier as well. Like it's going to have a lot of versatility in the same.
Oh yeah, it's got a lot of roles and it's precision frames, so I know it's like the most popular right now for PvP.
Yeah, been getting killed by those a lot these days. So in addition to these 2 new act weapons getting added to the pool, there's also one of the reprised ones as well that I'm personally pretty excited about from Season of the Splicer.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Yes.
What?
Yeah.
What? Y'all tweaking in there?
Yeah. I have a very personal connection.
Grid skipper.
So it was like one of my favorite things. I actually worked on helped work on the original set of these.
Yeah.
When they first came out. But I did the rolls on these.
Let's take a quick look.
Bring that bitch back. Let me see some.
But also some new rolls. Also, it's got a lot of options for both PvE and PvP. Get some Zen Moment Headseeker for PvP, probably pretty nice.
That's what I'm going to be going for.
My original classic roll was Killing Wind Multi-Kill Clip, which with the new Splice Origin worked pretty well.
Okay.
Manning the pulse and getting.
Okay, give me another rule. Give me another roll of that. You feel me?
Rapid fire pulses of being like pretty low handling and reload baseline.
That was the role you talked about in the TWID, right?
Probably, yeah.
Of all the people, you chose the legendary weapon instead.
So
for
with
context,
the past, talking about if you could have one weapon made a replica, what would you want? A bunch of other people said exotic, and I was the guy that said grid skipper.
I mean, it's a great answer.
Correct choice.
Yeah, honestly. Yeah. There's no wrong choice in theirs, but yours was very correct.
Pretty good.
E-rolls as well. But, there's a lot to look forward to. I'm going to be grinding this a lot.
I want to interject real quick because we're at a good time.
Yeah.
So this is the fire team went through it earlier, but this is a traversal section. So these are different than how they were in the coil. I also want to shout out every player who died to my spike traps in the coil. I did that on purpose.
How dare you?
I don't feel bad.
There's a lot of grudges being built in chat right now in real time. It's,
I don't feel bad.
You're like an evil DM, honestly. It's so.
It's fun. It's not fun to them. It's fun to
burning
me.
at like 2 a.m. and it's me screaming at my ceiling, Noah, why did you do that?
Exactly. I see all the comments and I'm like.
He just smiles. Yeah, he just feels bad. Warms up his coffee. Yeah.
These are these are much shorter than they were in the coil, but their goal is in Contest of Elders specifically, not Tomb of Elders, which is like 1 lap.
Yeah.
These have their own challenges that players have to complete. So for this one, it was complete kill every enemy.
Health is increased, but doesn't then generate.
So like collect a bunch of like fallen lights. I can't.
Hold on, my damn.
Like energy.
I'm blocking my own damn chat. Hold up.
Defeat a boss within a certain amount of time. So it's just more things to kind of challenge you
Move
and make
this real quick.
You know, like transitionary spaces a little bit more interesting. And so we have like the piece de resistance right here. My son. Everyone will be very excited to see this. This is one of my favorite intros.
The grand reveal.
Exactly.
Yeah, let's see here. And you were saying the Dread and the Taken are working together in this one, right?
I'd say the Taken are kind of taking the helm of the Dread right now, not because like they're strong or anything, but because like Psylocke is just more experienced with the prison. I feel like
honestly,
he's he was a model inmate.
Yeah.
So they were like we're asking from the best. All the warden likes him.
Yeah, honestly, yeah. He was always available for work after hours. He was hanging out in the library.
I don't want to block it.
Right?
Yeah, he was doing his community service, all the works.
I don't want to block it, y'all.
What's the mechanic we're seeing to play here as well, by the way?
So this mechanic is a bad pun. So for everyone who loves Rift or really has even played Excision, instead of Spark Runner buff, it is Dark Runner, where you're picking up splinters. You're picking up darkness splinters that give you stacks of Dark Runner up to like ×3, where it'll say like Dark Runner max. Then you dunk them in a rift, and it changes based on like the encounter. For the normal Dread encounter, just something different. But in this, Psylocke will have a shield.
Different objective. It's happening right now too.
Oh yeah, we got the Rifleman is a critical objective, and the thing with that is there will be clones of the Rifleman that spawn around the arena.
Yeah.
You have to find the real one, but the clone's damage is real too.
Yeah.
So you got to make sure that you're not in their line of sight.
Yeah.
All these critical objectives are meant to be pretty tough.
Yeah, they're not supposed to go easy on you.
Yeah, I mean, they're critical.
It's not the Sandbox of Elders, it's the Tomb, right? Yeah, thank you.
Loving how dynamic all this is too, because even like through our practice runs and all that, we've seen a bunch of different modifiers and different objectives pop up.
This is, if I was to describe what design's goal was for this in one word, it would be variable. There's so much that can change from a given run. Is really trying to embody roguelite to like its fullest. You'll have different pathways every time, which is like you'll go to different cell blocks in different orders.
Yeah.
You'll have different.
Y'all learning a little bit.
objectives that'll pop up. Different.
You're
critical
learning a
objectives,
little bit.
and you'll have different modifiers and like all this stuff. And based on how well you do, the dynamic, like enemies are harder or easier based on how well you do. Like it's a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot, and I hope players can like. I'm looking at Dado and Astacross, make a good guide for this.
Yeah.
Because this is a big one. But I think that the more people play, they'll kind of understand the mode a lot more. And there's a lot to offer, I think. And we're not going to show the treasure chamber, unfortunately, but that's kind of the whole thesis. We want everyone to get to that treasure chamber and feel like however they played, they can get paid out based on how well they did.
Definitely.
And my goal was, even if you're at the worst level, if you're at Warden's Punishment ×3, you're able to get to the max rewards in one lap.
Yeah. Just might take you a little bit longer.
Yeah, you just have to be kind of dialed in.
Yeah.
It'll be the phrasing of like, oh, I'm not angry, I'm just disappointed.
Exactly.
You got to earn these rewards.
You got to say it in a Varric's voice, though, too.
Oh, I'm not.
The
We'll get
Warden
back
has
to
so many lines. I want to shout out Olivia on narrative for writing all the lines.
Yeah.
He has, I think, like, I don't even know. I'm not going to, like, make a number up right now. But he has a bunch, and they range from being, I'm very proud of you, to, like, come on, man, you got to do a little better than that.
Yeah,
it kind of pushes you to kind of just want to make him proud.
Yeah, he's not mad. He's just disappointed.
Disappointed.
Yeah, exactly. Dylan is the father here. He's used to saying that to me.
I don't use the slang like you do.
That's it. I mean, I got that Skibbity Ohio riz, unfortunately. But
what was that?
Moving right along. Actually, while we have a second here, Taylor, I wanted to go ahead back to you.
Yeah.
Actually, we've got some new artifact mods joining this time around as well. Do you mind if we take a look and kind of walk through and see what we got here?
Yeah. So we've got like the last
Show me.
episode. Sorry. We have a new row unlocking in Act 2. These are all close quarters themed. So we've got a discount for all your melee mods, an improvement to emergency reinforcements, which I think is like you get a heal when you're low health. We've got a way to get armor charge while you're surrounded. The boost there gives you more weapon handling and charge rate for swords.
And the boost comes from tonics, right?
Yeah. So there'll be new tonics.
Nice.
Oh,
this,
Lord, get rid of them damn tonics, yo.
older mods
I hate that shit, yo.
You break a
This
max
is
shield with
trash.
power, and then the boost on this actually is going to be really nice, which is picking up an overpower or elemental pickup or tangle gives you a bit of health, which kind of replicates the leg armor mods, which you can like run both.
What's
or
the last one?
This can free you up a slot with that. I know, like I'm running Stasis Hunter with the new helmet, and that's going to be pretty good for that.
Yeah.
And also just for staying alive in this activity, since it's kind of spicy.
Someone who's been a very punchy punch hunter these
What's
days.
the last
my
one?
Shark build, as I call it.
Yep.
Yeah, those like there's a lot of mods in this row that I'm really looking forward to having.
Tomb of Elders activities are very claustrophobic. I think shotguns in close range is definitely
Art compounding. Thank you.
That's the buzzword. Enemy density.
Yeah.
Yes, the density in Destiny is just getting there.
And then arc compounding, which I believe was maybe in an older artifact, which is arc sources deal more damage to blinded targets, which might actually pair really well with the changes that got done to Exteris, since the moths there will be blind to blind for yourself, and then also it's a grenade launcher, so it kind of gets to double dip with all the grenade launcher mods in this.
And to that end, real quickly for anyone who may not read through every patch note necessarily, quick update, what were the changes you guys made to Exteris?
Yeah, we made some QL stuff, get a little bit more ammo, but the main thing was flattening out the projectile behavior a bit, so it goes to a little bit higher velocity, less gravity, so you can more easily hit stuff from range. And then if you get multiple direct hits quickly, you also get a moth in the same way that you would on the kill trigger. So let's scale into some higher difficulty content a bit easier, and it does some work if you have like one big target to just lay into.
Yeah. All right, we're gonna get back to some gameplay here in a second, but really quickly before we move on as well, we were talking before the show. There are some changes happening to roaming supers as well.
Yeah. So you may have seen earlier we had our.
Did y'all fix the void shot?
Stasis lock, but
the
one of
tether.
the things we're doing in this Act 2 patch is we're buffing all the roaming supers. So for context, that's like your Storm Trance, Vista Havoc, where you're in the super for a while, versus the one-shot supers like Nova Bomb, Tether, etc. We're making a change so that the damage-based rechargers, specifically in PvE.
Right. Yes. Only in PvE, not PvE.
You'll be charged like through active combat. You'll be charging the roaming supers, but like 2 to 3 times faster than normal.
Yeah.
So it's like a pretty big swing with the kind of the idea that you want to move these a little bit closer to your neutral game.
Yeah.
Or something you feel more comfortable popping like on cooldown.
Yeah.
So you don't feel like you need to keep it for when you kind of need it. You can use it pretty actively because you can get it back like relatively quickly.
Yeah, you used the I think a great analogy earlier of like it's not the hyper potion in your backpack you hold on to forever because you needed
we
that
want to
boss
try
fight.
and break
Just
that habit.
use
We
it.
understand it's like it's a hard habit to kick.
As someone again who uses the super basically only in the final phase of any boss fight.
Yep. It's years and years of Destiny have trained me very well to do that too. So it was interesting seeing in playtests because took people a bit to kind of adapt to it, but once we got used to how quickly they're coming back, it was like a lot of fun because it opens up a lot more things too. Because like now there's a bunch of exotics that are tied to roaming supers that are just instantly more valuable without needing to change a whole lot of stuff.
Totally.
So it shakes things up. Get some options.
Yeah.
It sounds enticing for like Onslaught, Coil, Tomb of Elders.
Yeah,
like now you have more
stuff where you like the objective is speed. Versus just like burst damage or something.
Right. Yeah, and just upping that versatility factor, honestly, of all things, you know?
Just bringing some other stuff kind of back in the limelight.
Yeah, no, very excited. The build crafters out there in the audience, you've got your work cut out for you now. Go ahead and start adjusting those variables in your various spreadsheets and everything.
I was about to say the same thing. When you see the spreadsheets, when I eat lunch, I sometimes just put on a video and I'm like, let me see what the meta is.
Care about. Dear Mactix, tell me what my build is today. Yeah, no.
Then you have Bjorndal internally where it's like, what's my meta going to be in a month? What should I start saving now?
I will admit, I had also, when I got a sneak peek at Alethanim, I went home that day and built like a stasis loadout just in preparation for it, more or less. The stand-in was I can't remember the name of it at any rate, but the exotic scout rifle.
Oh, wait, what, Demon's Tale? Or
from Season of the Deep?
Oh, Wicked Implement.
Thank you, Wicked Implement. There we go. This is.
Sorry, I had to.
Thank you.
Scroll back my brain a bit.
I appreciate it. There's only one scout rifle in my brain, and it's just the Dead Man's Tale. So
that's why we were just talking about that earlier. I went to that.
Yeah. All right.
Sidebar.
So we've obviously got a lot of great stuff arriving with the season in terms of the activity and weapons. But Dylan, I want to turn my attention solely to you. In addition to the cool content being added, you've got some notes prepared, I see. We've got some cool stuff to go ahead.
Talk to us.
There it is. All right, everyone, get your memes
Let's
going.
get it.
We have got some cool stuff arriving in the form of. Let's go ahead and start from the top. We're doing a partnership with Street Fighter. Coming up.
What the
Can you tell us
fuck?
a little bit about the cool stuff that we're gonna have available.
Give me a Ryu outfit for my warlock.
All right. Well, what if I ask? Please.
Man, listen, man.
I mean,
there we go. All
so
right.
you've seen a few things through gameplay. We have a bunch of cosmetics. Like the first thing you can see here is a wonderful set of ghosts. So we got your.
You kidding me? No way!
I want my ghost to get into a fist fight with.
No way, bruh.
The Ryu one's pretty swole, I gotta say. Yeah.
No way.
The witness.
There's a lot, so you better get to work.
Yeah. And then one of our players has actually been running around with a Blanca helmet, which is so it's not one class that gets this. It's going to be Universal Ornament.
That's hard. That's hard, bro.
You can throw on your Titan Arc Super. You can throw on Storm.
Say word.
Go and kind of role play with some of that electricity, right?
How the hell y'all pull that off?
See being Blanca after all this time. Maybe not as swole as him necessarily, but still.
And use the arc shit. Man, what?
That you're just way cooler than all of us.
What?
Stop rubbing it in.
Look at that. Look at that.
Yeah, great.
So, great.
Look at that.
There are also 3 finishers. You might have seen those sprinkled in through the game.
Sure you can.
Lightning Kick, Spinning Bird.
Hadouken. No, you know the Hadouken.
Are you Hadouken?
You kidding me? No, gotta get it.
Worse than the joke.
I'm sorry, I gotta get it.
Significantly better.
Gotta get it, dog.
Then we got some emotes that we can show.
Look at that.
A pretty good time.
The Chun-Li. Say word.
We'll see what we can see here. If gameplay's on screen, anyway.
There we go.
There we go. Yes. All right. So we've got some emotes to show off as well. Let's start with the group emote here.
This one's
I love time to fight.
The health bars are so good.
And winner.
Look at that.
God. And then we got a bonus round.
That's
Let's
right.
go.
Yeah. It's not exactly a Honda Civic, but it's just as much fun to go ahead and beat up.
I want to do a shout out to every Guardian in the tower. 1997 Honda Civic Adept. I see you. I love you.
It's an important role to play, honestly. Yeah.
Man, look at that.
This is going to be my new Trials intro. I can already tell. Honestly.
Right. And then we actually have a segue on screen already with the armor that has been adorned.
Yeah. Well, let's go ahead and rotate
Show
over there,
me.
with the arrival as well of this act. The Dawning is going to be making its return as well on December 10th, I believe.
Yes. December 10th. Yeah. 10 a.m. right at reset. We'll have the Dawning coming back. The wonderful theme for our armor is going to be a celestial space dragon, which is really great. And then the team did a bunch of really
That look
good
pretty
work
cool,
on
though. I ain't gonna lie.
shader application. We've seen your feedback tons of times on, hey, I
That
want
look
my
pretty
shaders to
cool.
look pretty on all the armor that I'm getting.
Yeah.
This knocks it out of the park, especially with that celestial star map in the wings. So
Yeah.
each class is going to get their dragon on. It's going to be a great time. These armor sets you can get for silver or bright dust. So if you've been doing all your Pathfinders, shout out to the team on the Pathfinder changes in the last episode.
I'm trying to tell you.
Yeah, lots of bright
Pile
dust.
it up,
So
boy.
You can get these armors pretty quick. And then donning, yeah, we're going to have your favorite cookie baking activities coming back, going around to all of your different vendors, giving them nice treats, giving some raisins to Eris, that kind of stuff.
Right.
Word.
There have been a couple quality of life changes that I want to call out from the team. Let's see here. Let's see. Dark frosting. So it's not just going to be stasis anymore. Both of your darkness subclasses, strand and stasis, are going to make that easier. And then for every guardian out there that's been saying, hey, this specific ingredient is not dropping for me, we're upping the drop rates for all those. So if you're using void, trying to get that null taste or whatever,
and we are,
you'll start getting that a little bit more frequently.
I never had any issue.
Stop it. Okay. Don't
Well,
put it
yeah,
out.
you're the lucky one. Yeah.
I never had any issue.
Classic Taylor. Geez, yeah. Flute. Yeah.
Dawning, Street Fighter.
We have focus saying you can actually earn double perks as well. So if you're trying to get the new linear fusion rifle with some spicy rolls, it's going to be nice to earn a pathway to a couple in the columns. But if we could get a preview.
Yeah, let's take a look.
Yeah. So adaptive burst, beautiful fusion rifle.
Show it, Goofy.
There's already actually a pretty spicy roll on the screen right now. So on the left column, internally we call it box weaken.
Like box breathing.
What's the actual?
Withering gaze.
Withering gaze. So aim down sights for a bit, and then you
left
can.
column specifically.
Oh, sorry,
is
left.
really nice.
You can weaken your targets, and then in the right column, bait and switch. So amp up your damage, weaken your target. That's actually going to be a pretty spicy roll. Vice Singer 2 to get a bunch of your ammo back. But if you're actually worried about ammo, Envious Arsenal. It's one of the hottest perks of this season or of this episode. Sorry, this act. Those are going to be
Envious
really well
Arsenal.
that's coming out.
Bait and switch has become the darling child of my heavy ammo slot, honestly. So I'm excited to see this. Also, I think we were talking earlier, after being such big fans of Stormcaller, seeing another adaptive burst, linear fusion rifle on the map was pretty exciting, honestly. Storm Chaser. Thank you, Storm Chaser. My mistake.
Yeah, shout
that
out
was a test.
Storm-themed content. In that game.
One of my buddies out in Midwest, he actually does some storm chasing as a hobby. So he's like, I need that gun. Love you,
I remember that, yeah.
Yeah, and then outside of the new weapon, there are going to be a bunch of reprised weapons with new rolls.
Pretty cool.
So your fusion rifle, pulse rifle, glaive, sword, and the machine gun. Big shout out to Lego LaFlash. He's my go-to content creator for fusion rifle rolls and Glacioclasm. You may see it in the Crucible, may shake your fist at it a couple times, but there are going to be some more rolls.
After seeing you in that Bungie Foundation stream, just mopping the floor with people with fusions, I fully expect this to be added.
High impact and hot, slow fire and high damage.
Nothing wrong with it.
Jesus.
I mean, on Glacioclasm, there's going to be lone wolf closing time. So push out that range, tighten up that cone. It's going to be great.
Stop it right now. You're giving everyone
Push out that range and tighten up the
It's tough
cone.
enough to get to the lighthouse these days. You're giving
Already.
All right.
Yeah, I hope
Lord.
they come in and ruin my day. It makes for great clips. Yeah, and I mean, so strange coins are actually going to be added to the donning gifts as well.
Yeah.
So, like with Festival of the Lost, you could get the exotic class items with candy and that kind of stuff. With donning, you're going to get higher drop rate of those strange coins from giving out those gifts, and then you can go to Zur. You can get your exotic class items or the Zerf board actually too.
Oh, nice. So we
it's not necessarily a catch-up mechanic, but we know, hey, you might not be going into strikes or Crucible and earning strange coins, so we're trying to spread the love a bit.
Nice.
So
we'll get what we
Word.
deserve.
I like that.
I keep setting
good.
you up.
Nothing too crazy.
I know. No, thank you. Well, I'll tell you what. I'll do you.
Nothing too crazy.
We have one more cool little thing actually. There's a new fashion set that's being added to Act 2 as well. The players have been pretty excited about it. They may have caught wind of it, but can you tell us a little bit about what you're seeing here, Dylan?
So, by the power of the moon, the team has done absolute beautiful work on some Doki Doki Destiny sets. We got your Warlock and your Titan there, showing off their fashion, pondering an orb, if you will. But yeah, I mean, this has been a set long time coming. We hope players enjoy throwing on some bows, some ribbons, and just having a fun time in fashion. If you want to go super black and be gothic cutesy set, that's going to be...
It's a great time for that, honestly.
Yeah, right.
This is available through Silver.
This is going to be Silver and Bright Dust.
And
so
Bright Dust.
Again,
Okay.
yeah, if you're going in doing your Pathfinders, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, it'll be available in Eververse for Bright Dust or Silver.
Gonna be a good time.
Live your best fashion life.
Right.
Can't
Fashion is the
Wow.
Drestiny is gonna be really dialing
Let's
it up.
see. Any other notes?
No,
I
ain't
do
worry
wanna
about no
give a shout
Doki
out.
Doki Universe.
Yeah, I
man.
mean, like,
Hey, you worry about that
at
after.
the top of the show, I was saying I'm an emissary of the team, but ultimately there are a ton of people that make cool content. Like we have Noah Taylor here right now, but big thank you to Mike Profeta, Joshua B, CJ Payne, Brad Fisher, Mercules, and Michelle on test as well for working on a bunch of these sandbox changes, a bunch of these dawning goodies.
Yeah.
There are a ton of unsung heroes at Bungie, from IT to like the folks behind the stream and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
It's a group effort, and I'm really excited for what's to come.
Yeah.
So.
No, I mean it's nice. Let's make those thankless jobs ones that get a lot of thanks. Honestly, they deserve it for all the
I have
hard
a
work
shout
they
out
put in.
also. I want to
Please.
shout out.
It's
Keenan
okay. I like the
for
fact
all
Prisoner
everything
Elder.
he saw in Tomb of Elders and contest, every arena he had made it himself, and it is beautiful as we've seen. So I want to shout out Keenan and Olivia. I already shouted her out earlier, but I'll just do it again.
Never hurts. Yeah. Taylor, anyone you got for you?
Yeah, Vivian on the scorn weapons and that origin perk.
Yeah.
Matt Dowling for all his work on the release.
Yeah.
And then Denny for something we might talk about in a bit.
Interesting.
We'll get to that.
What an interesting little tease that is.
Yeah, I mean, teams are stronger than heroes is one of the Bungie pillars.
Yeah.
And it's like in the game, this is where you see it in full force because everything is made by so many hands.
Yeah, honestly, it's something I always say is nothing ever happens here in a vacuum, right? Like it takes a lot of people to come together. This coalescence of technical and artistic skills like really make a lot of cool stuff happen. So, we'll obviously make sure and give additional thanks at the end, but to our compatriots at Bungie that are here even now, working hard, continuing to build all the next chapters of Destiny, thank you all so much. We appreciate it.
Do I have any other notes?
Do you have any other notes?
I think. Oh yeah, last thing. We've had a lot of players asking about Iron Banner.
Oh, right. Thank you.
Yeah, November 26th. So the week after the act launches, we'll have Iron Banner coming back with a new armor set and a couple new weapons that a certain somebody might have
A couple
details
new
on.
weapons. Can you give us a tease? There was a sidearm. I remember we were talking about a little bit earlier. Yeah.
Stasis, rocket sidearm with choke clip. I think some people have already found that, but yeah, that'll be available soon.
I just like all those words,
To
honestly. on
forever
their own.
sit in that slot.
Yeah, I cannot wait, honestly.
Archon's Thunder, baby. Get your machine gun on.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Okay. All right. It's been a while. Just even the look of that one, honestly, I'm smitten by. But
yeah,
that nice classic solar machine gun is a lot of fun.
Yeah, but we'll have a ton of twids between now and end of December when we go dark. But we'll have a bunch of stuff on Iron Banner. Dawning, all the goodies in there. We have a bake-off event that's going to be going on in the game where you can earn some cosmetics and emblems.
Yeah.
And, we have a lot of good content in this act going through the end of the year.
Very nice. Excellent. Well, we also, as is the case with these streams, we're getting near the end of our agenda here for today. But as is the case typically, we're going to leave you with just one more thing as well. Now, as a quick heads up, the launch of Act 3, is going to be on January 7th. So given that that's right after 2025 rolls around, many of us will be at home spending time with our families and loved ones, or if you're like me, sitting around just playing more Destiny. So as a result, we won't be actually having an Act 3 stream. So unmark those calendars for the stream, but make sure you log in that day because with the arrival of Act 3, shortly after the arrival or right when it launches, we'll defer that to a twid to make sure we get that date spot on. There's going to be a new exotic weapon quest arriving as well, and with it, a new exotic shotgun as well that we're going to actually take a look at here today. Now, the name of the quest we're not going to spoil for you because it has some story implications, but Taylor, I'd love to put you on the spot real quick. Can you tell us a little bit about what we're looking at here?
Yes, this is Slayer's Fang. It's a pretty unique
what the hell?
slug shotgun. Where it fires a single slug round that once it impacts a target or
Spreads.
surface, like environment, the slug shatters in a bunch of secondary projectiles. And then once you get a kill, you get true sight for a short period of time, and then the shattered projectiles will weaken targets that they hit, and they get a bit smarter with their tracking.
Wow.
It's also got
Not bad.
pretty unique reload.
Yeah.
For a shotgun.
Crystal in that?
Yeah, it's like a small void crystal. Like I think the theme is like the projectiles are like hitting surface and they shatter into bits.
Yeah.
We went down as a squad of 9. We're turned into void crystals and are now in an exotic weapon.
Hey, I mean, we
turn everything and everyone into weapons around here.
Oh, wow.
Guns or bullets or
Yeah.
something.
A worm.
But,
A very sassy worm
yeah,
at that, but-
also fully reloads the gun with the reload.
I was gonna ask.
It's not shell by shell.
Yeah, was it the whole? So it's the whole magazine up front, not necessarily. Okay. I'm already mentally trying to build this into as many loadouts as I possibly can.
yeah.
if I'm being
Your
honest.
Falcon? Yeah.
Very curious.
Stop the
if,
cap.
No backup plans. Titans might happen.
Well, they will now.
Yeah. Also benefits from the shotgun changes that happen.
Yeah, that's true.
Actually,
Honestly,
like reasonable range to use this.
Is it craftable?
Yes, yeah. So like kind of the past couple quests I've done with this, like Acquire 1, etc. Be a bunch of things to do in the activity, intrinsic levels to unlock, and a handful of catalysts that have some interesting interactions with how the gun works itself.
Very nice. All right, so the theory crafters in the audience are going to have plenty to sink their teeth into.
Yes,
Yeah.
and a few other maybe secret things to do.
Maybe secret things. All right, that's cool. Well, when
I like
they
maybe secrets.
maybe secrets are maybe cool.
I like
Things for you to find out.
Yeah, we'll wait for the YouTubers to make their Pepe Sylvia wall of all the different secrets that exist in there at some point. But for now, that actually leads us to the end of our series of events. My page of notes has gone ahead and concluded.
All right, so let's go back then, shall we? Oh, what I got out of this? It's pretty good. Not over the top though, you know what I mean? But as far as what they're doing, not bad. Not bad. They brought back Prisoner Elders. They got the normal stuff with the dawning and, you know. I just hope it's not a meh act. I see we still got the damn tonics. Lord, like after this season, y'all need to just get rid of the tonics, y'all. Just get rid of the tonics, y'all, after this season. But all in all, seemed all right to me. Out of 10, I'd probably give them about a 6.5, 7. It just depends on how good this Prisoner of Elders is, and you know. But all in all, that's what I got. I'm your host, King Gallos, representing the Ultimate Gaming Federation. I'll be back on Call of Duty, but for now, we gone. Peace. Till next time.
I came from the bottom, nothing had to tell me. Grew up in the project, struggle was all I could see. So I never gave up, knew I had to be a winner. Do what I gotta do, grinding for my dinner. From the bottom to the top, I will rise. No matter what they say, I won't compromise. In the projects where I'm from, ain't no easy way, but I'm a